Welcome to Mathematics with Tom. I am Tom, and today we're going to take a look at what is called a scatter plot. And to make the idea have some more grounding, we're going to look at the example of borrowing $100 at a 10% interest rate compounded annually, and each year we'll pay $25 on the loan. So here we go. What I'd like to do is, let's make a little table here. So initially we are our principal, that's the balance principal. Our principal or our balance due. So at time 0, we owe $100. Now, at the end of year 0, we're going to make a $25 payment. So here's our payment. Actually, everything's going to be in dollars. Payment is $25. Now, what we want to think about, though, is remember that of that $25, 10% of the $100 is due. So in other words, that's the interest. So the interest that we have to pay on our loan is 10% times the original balance, which is the $100. So in other words, we have to pay interest of $10. And if we take 25 and subtract 10, well, that's going to be, so if we take, I'll write this out, then this is toward a principal, or toward the balance. We would say 25 minus the 10, so this is going to be $15. That $15 lowers what we owe. So at the beginning of year 1, we now owe 100. We now owe 100 minus the $15 that was paid towards the loan. So we now owe $85. At the end of year 1, then what we're going to do is we're going to make another $25 payment. This time, and we're going to round our interest payments to the nearest dollar. So this time, though, I have to pay interest. Well, this time it's going to be 10% times the balance of $850. Of 85. Sorry, I kind of gave that answer, didn't I? Of 85. This is 8.5. We'll just round this to $9. So $9 of that is interest. So then we take 25 minus the 9. So $16 goes towards decreasing the balance. So at the beginning of year 2, we have the 85. We subtract 16. So that would be, oh goodness gracious, $69. $69. So year 2 passes. Again, we make a $25 payment. We pay 10% of 69. That's $6.90. We'll round that up to $7 in interest. And towards our balance now is 25 minus 7, which is $18. So we start into year 3. Well, when we start into year 3, we now owe 69 minus $18. This is going to put us down to we owing $51. At the end of the year, again, we make the $25 payment. I know this might be getting a bit routine, but the idea is important for a few reasons. So now our interest is $5.10. We'll round that to the nearest $5. And 25 minus 5, that's $20 towards the balance. So we start year 4 owing 51 minus 20. This is $31. And the process repeats. Right, so now we have our payment of $25. We owe interest of 3. Our principal then goes down by 25 minus 3, or $22. So going into year 5, we now owe $9. Our payment, again, is $25, of which that is interest. Interest on that is going to be $1. And actually, what are we going to have here? 25 minus 1, that's going to be towards 24. But obviously, we're going to get a little bit back because we only have to pay $9. So, 9. Yeah, we only had to pay $9. plus our $1 in interest. So actually our payment isn't 25, but it's $10, and of which $9 goes towards our balance. And now we've paid off our loan. So just before we make our scatter plot, a few things that are interesting is notice that we borrowed $100. But look at, to pay that loan back, we had to add up these payment columns. So if we add up this payment column here, we add up this column, notice that this is going to be $25, $50, $75, $100, $125, $135 to buy a $100 item. And of that, notice if we add up our interest, that's 10 plus 9, it's 19 plus 7 is 26. 26 and 5 is 31, plus 3 is 34, $35 of interest. And interest can be thought of as the cost of borrowing, meaning if I'm going to let you borrow my money, I want something in turn for it. That's the interest that we pay. Now, let's draw a picture. And that's what this was about, is I wanted to draw this picture, and we'll put that right here. I'm going to do this. We're going to shrink this down a little bit. Move it up. There, now I've got some more space. And so let's make our scatter plot. Well, here's what our scatter plot is going to look like. We're going to put on the vertical axis, we'll put time. Is that what we want to do? Sure. And then, so time. And then on the horizontal axis, we're going to put our balance. Okay, so notice this. So our original, when we're going to record it in this way. So time, this whole loan lasted for 5 years. So we're going to start here at 0, and then we can go up to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 years. Our balance also ended at 0, but we started all the way at $100. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So here's $100, here's 80, and so on. We'll add these as we need them. Now, what we want to do is we're going to create an ordered pair. This is very important. An ordered pair. And the ordered pair is always going to be of the form balance first, and then time second. Now, if I switch these, I would actually be switching the graph then. So in algebra, we call these balances what's called the independent variable. Dependent variable. And time, the vertical axis, is called the dependent variable. Dependent variable. And if I switch these, well, then the time would become independent and balance would become dependent. So whenever you are given an ordered pair, you can also think of it as it's the horizontal variable and the vertical. Okay. And you may have seen this before. Maybe if you ever took an algebra class, you always put your x values on the horizontal axis, and then you put your y values on the vertical axis. This is no different than that. So here we go. Notice this. Our first, let's look at these. At time 0, so I'm going to write our ordered pairs out. When our balance was $100, that was our initial time 0. Okay, then our next one was at the beginning of year 1. Oops, I'm sorry. It was when we had $85 that we owed. That was at the beginning of year 1. And then the next ordered pair we had is when we owed $69, and that happened at the beginning of year 2. And then the next bit that we owe is $51, and that was the beginning of year 3. And the next one we had was $31 at the beginning of year 4, and finally $9 at the beginning of year 5, and then we paid it off. We could write that because at the end the balance was 0 at the beginning of year 6. So we could do it like that. Okay, so now let's graph these, and what we do is we represent each ordered pair by a dot. So this first one, let's do these in colors. This first one is we'll do it this way, the 100, 0. It means I go over on my horizontal axis to 100, over to 100, and my height is 0, so I'm going to put a dot right there. Okay, that is the point 100, 0. And now let's go to the next one. We'll do this one in green. This one is the 85, 1. So now I go over to 85. Well, 85 is about here. And then I want to go up to where time is 1. And where these two meet, like if you have graph paper, this is a great use of graph paper. Because, well, we are graphing, so it does work well. So this is the ordered pair, 85, 1. All right, let's grab this pretty kind of orangish autumn color. So it's 69, 2. I'll do it this way, 69, 2. 69, 2. Well, let's see here, my 80, 70. So 69 would probably be like right about there. And that's going to go up to year 3. All right, and then let's try this pretty, well, the pink is hard to see. We'll try that one though. 51, 3. So 51, 3. So I go over to 51. I got to put 50 on here. 10, 20, 30, 40. Here's 50. I'm putting this in pink. So 50, and then year 3. And let's grab another color. How about this orange? And so orange, we'll do that for 31, 4. 31, 4. So 31 would be about there, just to the right of 30. And where 4 comes in and meets, right there. I can put there's 4, year 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's see. Let's do this nice. Oh, we've already used blue. What else do we have? This yellowy green color. This is 9, 5. All right, so at 9, 5. So we got to our balance is $9, and the balance is $9 at the beginning of year 5. And where those two meet, we put a dot. This is 9, 5. I guess I should go back, and this was 31, 4, and the pink one was 51, 3. Remember, the order matters. If I switch these, then it would be a different looking picture. And this autumn colored one we said is 69, 2. And our last one we'll go back to our white. Our last one here is going to be our balance is 0 after 6 years. So I'm going to extend my picture up. Here's year 6, and I'm at 0. Now, that is a scatter plot. The key thing is when you're making this, you always have to keep the order consistent. The horizontal axis is your independent variable. The vertical axis is your dependent variable, and it's always in that same order every time. I hope that helps, and thanks for watching.